kind of digging that new intro music there.
I was gonna say the intro music gets better every time. Every time.
Hey Terry. Hi, you're on the TikTok live there. This is our second day going live with our morning show on TikTok, and so I just see that someone named Terry is watching the live show on TikTok. So I said, "Hey Terry, what are you doing, Terry?"
Love it.
Morning, Mr. Gray.
We'll try and keep all the chats monitored today, guys. We go live on a lot of platforms, so we'll try and get it out to you guys. But hopefully, you guys had, for those of you who joined us at game night last night, it was a good time. So hopefully, we.
Oh boy, we got a little silly there at the end.
Yeah, had like 60 people. It was awesome. It was a good night.
I know, I love it. All right, hope everybody's having a good day. There's a lot of stuff to cover today, just because news is all over the place. But as always, we start out with the bubbles, my bubbles.
Yeah, bubbles.
Boom, there it is. Ooh, that's kind of ugly. UGLY, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly.
Siren is still going. I mean, it has something to do with AI. But look at that, dude.
Let's see what it is. We've talked about it before, but just as a reminder, what is Siren? Siren news, Siren, okay, Siren yield, Siren holders, top holders, okay. Siren is a step into the mystique of ancient lore. Okay, no one cares. And the project
it's an AI agent, basically. It's similar to what we're using with OpenClaw. I don't know enough about it, but it has been seriously.
This doesn't tell me what this does.
Right. I only know a little bit about it because I did do a little bit of digging because it has been moving so much. But again, guys, it's a super low.
Look at this.
That's not a good looking chart, though. When you see those up, down, that's never good.
It was up to $3. Now it's down at 13 cents. Like I don't know what's going on with this thing, but it's all over the place. But everything else, oof. Do you know why? Oof. Do you know why red? Yeah, shut up, Ice. I know I'm old.
Tell us now what is going on.
Jarrett Cook says, buy the dips, don't even trip. That's correct.
Damn right. That's exactly right.
If you're planning on holding for, 5-10 years, does it matter if you get Bitcoin at 66,000 or 71,000? No. But so what's going on? We talked about yesterday why markets were like hella green yesterday. You know why they were green? Because of the Iran-US ceasefire 2-week deal. Hey, we're all gonna cool off for 2 weeks and see if we can work a deal, and we're gonna let oil flow. And markets went crazy yesterday, and within about 2 hours, Iran and Israel and Lebanon and a couple other Middle Eastern countries were still shooting missiles at each other. So great ceasefire, except for we're gonna still be shooting each other. That's not what ceasefire means. So yeah.
And the market.
That's why we're red today.
It's what happens, people, you react accordingly to these markets.
But let's just again beat this dead horse as much as we can and go on the daily chart here. Oh, look, for the last month and a half, 2 months, we've been between 75 and 65, 65, 75, 65, 75. Like, we're just going to hang out here till stuff gets resolved.
There's going to be a consolidation period for it, but this is a good thing, actually. When Bitcoin consolidates and we see, money start moving into Ethereum, it's a good sign for alt season. So I think for the next 6 months, we're probably going to continue to move sideways. We'll have some action here and there, but
just want to say hey to Terry. Terry's commenting on our TikToks as new to the game and trying to learn as much as possible. That is absolutely the way. This is the way. Learn as much as possible. Alpha Origins is a great place to gather information. We are not the only place for information. There are a ton of people that we have learned from, and we shout them out every day. We should probably make a video on all the people that we love in the crypto space and have been kind of like our beacons of information for the last 7-8 years. But yeah, ask Terry. Ask any questions. We are monitoring the chat. We'll throw out answers. If you got comments, as you can see, we'll put them up on the screen. Same for anybody watching YouTube or on X. We do monitor the chats. We can see them all. We'll answer any questions live as we can. But yeah, back to this. Like, we're gonna bounce around until stuff gets resolved. What type of stuff? I'm glad you asked.
The first topic of the day, guys. Woof. This is a big one.
This to me is just, it's fascinating that Iran's like, you know what? We're gonna let ships through. You're gonna have to pay a toll. I don't know if that's like allowable, because I guess it's Iran's territorial waters somewhat. I don't know. But they're like, hey, you know what?
I see conflicting things. I see some people saying that they are forcing you to pay a toll in Bitcoin, like the toll needs to be paid in Bitcoin. And then some people are
well, let's. It's interesting. It's interesting to me on a lot of fronts. Number one, they're like, "Hey, you have to pay a toll to get through, but we're going to let your oil tankers through." And I've seen stuff where they're like, $1 per barrel of oil on your ship. So I don't know how many barrels of oil each ship takes. Maybe it's 1,000. Maybe it's 100,000. I don't know. Whatever it is. And like the toll is $1 per barrel that you're transporting, but we want it in Bitcoin. And you think, well, doesn't Bitcoin take 15 to 45 minutes to settle? Yeah, but you know what Bitcoin is not? The US dollar. And for the last 50, 60 years, the United States and all oil producing countries have had an agreement where if you're going to buy oil, you have to do it in US dollars. It's called the petrodollar. That's where we switched off the gold standard. But now Iran's like, you want to ship your oil? The toll will be paid in Bitcoin.
And that's honestly like them just being passive aggressive, honestly, because they know about the petrodollar. Obviously, they understand that the US dollar is essentially backed by oil at this point.
So ICE says 1 million barrels per ship on average. So that's $1 million in Bitcoin, which is what, 12, 13, 14 Bitcoin right now, by the way, per ship.
Yeah, this is insane. I mean, not everyone, it's not clear if they're, it says, okay, we're
I don't know about this. I don't know about this statement right here.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
I do kind of think there's some validity to this statement. We're now witnessing a shift from the petrodollar to the petro crypto dollar. That's interesting to me. You know, I spent a lot of time over the last few days in Reptar. You and I are both, tinfoil conspiracy theorist people. Part of me thinks, like, is all of this nonsense that's going on around the world, not just with the U.S., but with all the countries around the world, all the nonsense that's going on, is it just a smokescreen for them, like, doing stuff behind the scenes?
And, I really do agree with that. It's kind of crazy to
look over here at all the war and all the death and we're all mad at each other and everybody hates everybody. Hey guys, we're gonna do this over here together, right? We all agree we're gonna switch over to crypto and Bitcoin, and the banks are in. I don't know.
I was watching. Okay, you guys want some serious conspiracy stuff today? We'll get into some real conspiracy stuff. I was watching something about a program called Solar Warden. I watch this channel, a lot of mystery conspiracy.
The Y Files.
This one about solar. The Y Files. One of my shout out to AJ.
Dude, that's like what was
that channel?
What's that midnight, like? It used to be a midnight radio show.
Coast to Coast with Art
Bell. That's right.
Coast to coast. Oh,
the Y Files is just the new version of that.
Dude, if you guys don't know, Coast to Coast with Art Bell is a show from the 80s out of Las Vegas, and they this man started the idea of like, the whole conspiracy radio show. He's had so many amazing guests on, and AJ kind of, was like, was inspired by his channel and, created the Y Files. But anyway, long story short, the conspiracy theory with that is that all the countries, you hear about stuff like in Antarctica, the Antarctic Treaty and Solar Warden. There's a ton of them, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because entities like the World Economic Forum, these entities control the world. All these countries are behind the scenes. They are working together. And, behind the scenes, they all kind of get along and they all are cooperating to stand against a common threat.
Right. It's like they're all like behind the scenes, like, okay, whose turn is it to be the bad guy?
Literally,
Puppers.
though. Literally.
Puppers.
Because, the pups. But yeah, guys, love me a good conspiracy theory. If you guys know, you know. But I would not be shocked at all if this was kind of a ruse while everyone positions themselves. So because crazier things have happened.
So this is from at David _ I'm gonna assume that's English, ENG_MBA. So he has an MBA in English. I don't know. Okay, sure. Those two things don't seem to me. But anyway, he's got a good take here, and this is again continuing on the theme here. $1 per barrel toll would generate about $20 million a day. At current prices, that's about 281 Bitcoin. Well, there's only 450 new Bitcoin mined per day right now. So if this toll system were to continue and be allowed or whatever, that's Iran, one particular geopolitical choke point, theoretically absorbing 62% of the daily new supply. Now, this, I think, is another reason crypto as a whole is going to be necessary for us little people to have access to. We'll get to some stablecoin regulations that are being hashed out right now, but basically anti-money laundering regulations, KYC regulations are being put on stablecoins. And we'll talk about a couple of big banks that are filing patents and not patents, but trademarks for their own stablecoins. These stablecoins are going to be programmed such that they can be paused, clawed back, confiscated if you're committing crimes. And I saw a great meme that captures this in essence for me. It's a quote from the Andor TV show, and it's Mon Mothma and another senator. And the senator says, if you're not doing anything wrong, why do you have anything to hide? What are you afraid of? And Mon Mothma says, I'm afraid of what you define as wrong.
As wrong. Yep, 100%. It's crazy because Terry, in the TikTok chat, we will answer your question here in a second. Essentially, we just made a TikTok about this, about the idea of the one world currency and how the government is now going to be able to essentially freeze money whenever they want. And, if there is some kind of political disaster, some kind of world disaster, the conspiracy is that they are now going to be able to just freeze stable coins and stop people from withdrawing their money during an emergency or some kind of, so there's a reason people are really concerned about this. But
let's get to Terry's question. Terry says, who are some of the legitimate players to follow? We'll take an aside here. And I typed, so there's so many good people that I follow on X and YouTube. I typed in the thing, Wendy O does, been in the crypto space for longer than me. One of the people that I learned from. Crypto Jeb is a great technical analysis person. He does all the charts and stuff. Same thing with Frankie Candles for longs and shorts and quick trading. All in Crypto, Rupert at All in Crypto has an amazing YouTube channel. Moon Lambo, another great news guy. And then Crypto Klaus another YouTube channel news guy that I follow. What do you got, Reptar?
I know on TikTok I follow Crypto Ragsy.
Mm-hmm.
Just throw another female in there just because Wendy O was kind of the only one in the space
Well,
for
we
a
got
while.
I have somebody on X here, Diane. I'll show you that X handle here in just a minute.
And Alpha Origins, of course. I mean, we've been right about every single coin pick for the past like 3 years. So maybe just saying.
might be overselling, but we try to be a good point of information gathering for people. But again,
yeah, and it's only because we gather information from some of what we consider the best of the best, and then on top of that, the community. I've been showed countless projects by community members from the project. So if you guys are new and you're looking for to gather information, look for some new people, definitely join the Discord, but follow a lot of these other influencers that are genuinely giving good information.
And the way we have found over the years that these people are good sources of information is they've been right over the years. They don't overhype. They're not shilling stuff just to shill stuff. They're doing their own research. They're coming with good information, and they've been right.
And they're winning.
we found a lot of garbage people over the years as well.
Oh yeah, we'll talk. We'll do a video about that eventually, for sure.
All right, let's see if I got anything else on Iran. Nope. Let's move on a little bit. Some Clarity Act, and we're going to get into this talking about the White House and slapping down the banks a little bit. I love it, but I'm worried that might slow down the Clarity Act. But the Treasury Secretary has called on Congress to finalize the Clarity Act, framing it as a national priority, describing economic security as a national security. Emphasizes the Clarity Act is crucial for establishing rules in the crypto. This is a Cryptos R Us, another good person to follow.
Yes.
1 second. Go ahead.
It's interesting that they define it as a matter of national security. I bet securing the financial system for your own benefit is a matter of national security to you.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah, and then on top of that, it's wow. It's just they see the importance of this, and if the government's like, hey, this is important, this is a matter of national security, there's got to be a reason for it.
Continuing with the Treasury, this is what I was talking about a second ago. This is from CryptoTice at CryptoTice_. Genius Act just got teeth. U.S. Treasury is forcing stablecoin users to be able to block transactions, freeze wallets, enforce anti-money laundering, which, don't get me wrong, I got no problem with that on its face. There does need to be a way to stop people from committing crimes. But I
don't think anyone should be able to have their money frozen. You know what I mean? But it's kind of the same thing. I mean, JC, you used to work in law enforcement, so you understand. Like when someone gets caught, like let's say a big drug dealer gets caught, and he's got a bunch of cars, a bunch of houses, a bunch of watches, whatever. They confiscate all that stuff because if you can't prove how you paid for something, they assume that it's thrown into evidence.
Let's escalate to a higher level there. And this ties back to the Iran not wanting U.S. dollars. They want Bitcoin because Bitcoin can't be frozen. You can't go in and freeze someone's Bitcoin account. But the United States for years, and nations around the world have done this for years. If a terrorist organization has a bank account in England and they're like, hey, you're funding terrorist attacks with this money, we're going to freeze it so you can't access it. I get that.
Right.
It's just
right.
There's that razor thin line of I'm worried about what you call terrorism. And Canada,
exactly.
If you want to go back, what
$10,000 that you can't explain considered terrorism? Are you going to freeze my bank account or my crypto account because I'm trying to?
Let's go back to Canada. What was it, 2, maybe 3 years ago when there was that big trucker protest? If they found you on the side of the road holding up a sign supporting the trucker protest, they could freeze your bank account. That's not terrorism. But the Canadian government still did it. You could not access your bank account to buy groceries.
And that's the thing. I like what you said. There's a very razor thin line between what I think is acceptable and what.
And it goes back to that quote from
is
Andor. I'm worried about what you call wrong.
Right.
But
and
this is a valid point, and it needs to be. This is why I think stable coins will be one thing, but cryptocurrency tokens will be another. And you may have to go in and out of stable coins to transact. But if there's a way, and I think the privacy tokens are going to lead the way in this, if there is a way for you to maintain control over your non-stable coin crypto such that it can't be frozen, then you can't be put in a position where you can't buy food just because you said something that whatever governing authority doesn't like.
And that's the real, that is the real scary thing. Chompy just made a trade while we were live.
Chompy makes some money.
He opened a trade.
Okay.
I don't know if I can share it with both of us on the screen.
I can turn mine off.
Just real quick, here, just so you guys can see what we're working with here. Our AI trading bot just officially made its first trade since we have gone live. It's been trading quite a bit today, waiting for good opportunities. We'll talk about this more in the Discord and on the show, but this is really awesome here. You can see right here the result. It did successfully make a trade ID on this market. It filled it. It did a $75 position, blah, blah, blah. And we'll see how this plays out. But we're getting into the AI stuff, the AI trading bot. We do have an article. I want to share the follow-up yesterday into that because people are starting to see the benefit of not only crypto but AI, and I'm telling you guys, crypto and AI go together like peanut butter.
We've got more AI stuff to talk about as well, so let's get on through this. This is something I find kind of funny after all that we've talked about for the last month and a half about banks and crypto exchanges fighting over stablecoin yield. Yesterday, and we talked about this briefly yesterday, but it's still causing waves, and so I want to talk about it today. This is from X Finance Bull, but it's all over crypto Twitter. The White House report yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get back to my screen share. Boop, boop. Blow that up just a little bit. The White House Council of Economic Advisors found that banning stablecoin yield would only increase the bank lending by about $2.1 billion, which is less than 1% of the amount of money they lend out per year. I think it's like 0.002. And
what
if they banned all stablecoin yield?
You don't want to lose this money, and it's like it is literally less than 1%.
It's not. It's less than a tenth of 1%. It is 0.02%. So that's 0.002. Meanwhile, it costs consumers $800 million
in lost welfare.
Interesting. The bank's biggest argument for stalling Clarity Act was deposit flight. Like, if crypto exchanges are allowed to give stablecoin yield, which is basically giving you interest for keeping your stablecoin on their platform, which what do banks do? They give you interest for keeping your dollars in the bank. But they don't want crypto exchanges to be able to do that because that would cause deposit flight from the banks. Well, yeah, I'm going to go with whoever's going to give me more interest. But anyway.
It's just a fancy way of saying, hey, we don't want to lose all of the money that we basically stole from everyone since 1913.
Yeah, right. So the banks are saying that yield-bearing stablecoins drain trillions from the banking system. The White House said, that's overstated and implausible. Like, nah.
Yeah. XRP is going to be handling quadrillions of dollars in transactions, though.
Yeah, the White House is like, nah, bruh, that's not true.
Dude, Trump is really again, we try not to get political on here, guys, but Trump is really just swinging it around.
Well, again, this is not Trump himself. This is the White House Council of Economic Advisors, fellows. The White House Council is nah, that's not true. Data doesn't support what you're saying.
it's crazy how much the banks really did fight this. But as you guys know, we talked about yesterday, the Clarity Act is in its final stages of being passed. It does look really good. It seems that they're doing the whole if you can't beat them, join them thing, because again, not only is the country that we're at war with now accepting crypto for, the biggest oil, exchange route in the entire world, but now the banks are selling Bitcoin. So I think it's clear who the winner in this entire debacle and drama was.
Yeah.
So.
And long term, we all gonna make it. Just stick it in. The whales are playing games trying to make sure.
Just stick it in, he said.
Look, stick it out. Stick it out.
That's not what you said, but continue.
Hodl. How about that? But look, the big boys, the banks, the exchanges, they're all fighting over who's going to make the most money. But guess what? They're all fighting over crypto. So just hang tight.
If they're fighting over something, it's got to be something worth having.
This is Mr. Gray brings up an interesting point. Says they're worried about a bank run because they've loaned out everything they had.
100%.
And it's not just the banks. BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, has been limiting or halting their clients' abilities to withdraw their money.
And some of their crypto from ETFs. They've already was it BlackRock that paused ETF withdrawal?
Maybe. I don't remember.
I need to double check that before I say that. But some of these ETFs have been halting withdrawals, which it's like that fundamentally goes against everything in crypto.
Right.
This is why I think these ETFs.
Do you know who's never halted a withdrawal? A decentralized exchange.
That is why every time I see a bank run, every time I see a Tether depeg, every time I see one of these exchanges go down during times of volatility, DeFi never fails. And it's because it's built to not fail. It's built to have the liquidity available for people. So,
they're not hoarding or holding your liquidity for trades. You literally put your liquidity up and someone else trades their liquidity for yours.
But that's the thing. They get fees. The platform gets fees. And so does the person who is lending the money. So it's like it's a mutually beneficial thing. Right now, the banks are not mutually beneficial for anyone.
They loan your money out at 8 to 10% and give you 0.1%. They are making 100 times more than you are.
When you want to lend money? When you want to lend money, how much do they charge you in interest?
Yeah.
If I want to borrow money on Radium or Jupiter, putting up my crypto as collateral, the interest is very, very small. So not only are they offering more yield, but to borrow money from these platforms is also cheaper. So it's just like, I have no sympathy for if the banks are going to lose money or not. They should lose money.
They've made trillions and quadrillions of dollars over the centuries. They can shut up.
Yeah.
All right.
No sympathy.
You don't have enough HBAR.
You do not have enough HBAR. Nobody has enough HBAR.
But this is from Altcoin Buzz. Maybe I ran. Hedera is quietly building the most enterprise-ready developer ecosystem in crypto. That's right. To date, HBAR Hashgraph, Hedera Hashgraph, sorry, not HBAR Hashgraph. Hedera Hashgraph has over 70 billion transactions processed. That's more than Ethereum, more than Solana.
Let's get it. And that next line, JC.
We talked about this yesterday when that, I don't remember who it was, but had that colossally bad take about Anthropic partnering with all of these big businesses, and not a single one of them is a crypto business. Wait, what?
Did you see the follow-up that I sent you in our chat? I want to pull that up after this. I sent it in Discord because somebody did make a follow-up to that, but guys, I don't have to explain who Google is or FedEx. These are literally not just Fortune 500 companies, but Fortune 50 companies, like the top 50 companies in the world. Boeing is a private contractor for the military. Okay, enough said. The military industrial complex chose Hedera. They are the backbone of the financial system in the United States. It's ran by oil.
Did you send it this morning? From H Barbarian?
Yes.
Okay, I got it.
Yep. So, guys, this is a follow-up to the post that was posted yesterday that we freaked out about, where it's the same post from Anthropic, where somebody, Anthropic's talking about all these new partnerships that they're making with Claude. Claude is the trading bot that we actually just showed off that we were using. Anthropic is its chat GPT, so to speak. And this person, the H Barbarian, shout out to Mr. Shane Ryan, he actually knows what he's talking about, because he realizes that, hey, Anthropic is partnering with all of these companies that are on the Hedera governing council. Imagine that. So, and again, Google, IBM, Boeing, FedEx, Deutsche Telekom, that's a big bank in
Germany.
Germany. But yeah, so this is huge, guys. AI and crypto very much go together, and this is exactly this shows that the big players in the industry, the big tech giants, are paying attention to Hedera. So Anthropic hasn't partnered with a single crypto company. The companies that are building the crypto companies or working with the crypto companies partnered with them.
So continue on. Canary Capital, another asset manager, probably in the top 5 or 6. That's right, Mr. Gray. NASA is using HBAR. It's used on NVIDIA chips. NVIDIA is on the governing council of Hedera. It's just, you don't have enough HBAR. But
you do not have enough.
The Canary HBAR ETF has already had 93. Just the Canary HBAR ETF has already had 93 million in inflows. There are currently 15 more ETF applications for HBAR under review. McLaren Racing, that's right. HBAR is a sponsor of McLaren Racing.
McLaren. You could buy a McLaren with HBAR.
Sentiment is ranking.
Talking about Lamborghinis too.
We're going to talk about them at the end of here. Sentiment says HBAR is the #1 real-world asset development activity, above Chainlink, above Avalanche. Sorry, ICE. I do have some Chainlink news for ICE.
Sorry, I agree.
Currently at a $4 billion market cap, guys. That I don't think it's unreasonable to see that go up to $100 billion.
I would agree. I really do think a 20x for HBAR is in the cards. There's a reason that we're buying here at 8 cents. You do not have enough HBAR. We talk about HBAR, Chainlink. We talk about a lot of projects repetitively on the show, but HBAR and XRP, Chainlink. If you guys aren't watching these projects, or if you don't own at least a little bit of these projects, you are seriously shooting yourself in the foot, because these are some of, when we talk about crypto adoption, Chompy just made another trade. Let's go.
I'm going to answer Terry's question. He says, you just mentioned crypto Twitter, and I've been trying to make sense of exactly what that crypto Twitter, back before Elon bought Twitter and called it X. Crypto Twitter just referred to kind of the subset of accounts on X that talk about crypto. We just still call it crypto Twitter. It's just people on X that talk about crypto. So if they're
and X has become basically a news platform, is what a lot of
with a lot of crap to sort through, but yeah.
That's why we use it as because it's everything that's trending. So when people say things like crypto Twitter, we're really just talking about the big crypto influencers on Twitter. But it's been, there's no censorship on Twitter, so it's become an incredible platform for people to share information. So if you guys are new to crypto and you're getting into it and you want to start learning, Twitter is an absolute must for you guys, for sure.
And
I still call it Twitter. I don't.
Sorry, we're old. We're going to be the boomers. All right. And just another article from Collide from @WeAreCrypto. This was a great article about HBAR. I'm not going to read the whole thing. If you want to see it, just go to @we_r_crypto. But this is a great article. I want to highlight some stuff on this article. April 26th, there is a Swift integration with HBAR. And I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody's like Swift and XRP. And yes, that is happening. But Swift is not just partnering with XRP. None of these companies are just partnering with a single crypto or a single ledger or a single blockchain. They're partnering with all of them.
That's what bothers me, is it's like, I understand the narrative for XRP. I understand why people are so bullish on XRP. but HBAR is so slept on because of it, because of the, the attention that XRP is getting. That's why I hold more HBAR than XRP, because when the attention finally comes full circle to these other projects that have just been being slept on, I think HBAR is going to do way better than XRP, but that's just my personal take.
But yeah, I want to highlight, McLaren, Boeing, IBM, FedEx, kind of the big guys, but that's consumer engagement expertise, real world application potential, and Web3, and digital collectibles tied to Formula One and IndyCar. Don't sleep on digital collectibles, guys. I know NFTs are out, but non-fungible tokens being digital collectible artwork or whatever is just the tip of the NFT iceberg, but it's still there. And yes, right. I did say just the tip, apparently.
But it is going. Guys, I really do think that I think NFTs are going to have a comeback for sure, because like JC just said, the value that they provide is real for sure.
Yeah, this is another thing that HBAR is great for. Guys, and we've talked about it ad nauseum. HBAR is one of the cryptos. In fact, it's probably the leading crypto as far as quantum security moving forward, which we've talked about just this week, or maybe it was last week, about at least a portion of Bitcoin wallets not, quantum computers being able to break your 24 or 12 word passcode in like 6 minutes. That's probably not a good thing.
And that's not possible on HBAR, which is interesting that, again, I bring this up a lot, but when they chose to put NASA's data, Boeing's data, the World Health Organization, FedEx, it's all very private data, especially World Health Organization data.
Yep.
They put it on the quantum protected blockchain for a reason. Just going to leave it at that.
And we'll get into a little bit more into AI and crypto here as we move forward. But this is for you, ICE Chainlink. LLM hallucinations, which, Reptar, perhaps you being a programmer can help me understand this a little bit. These companies are leveraging Chainlink to reduce AI hallucination risk. What is AI hallucination, and what does that even mean?
So honestly, like I'm not really like super educated on it, but it's essentially it's basically just like a bunch of language models that's used to like train AI. It's really all I understand about it.
Let's just ask SuperGrok. What are LLM hallucinations? Let me switch this over here. LLM, we're reading right here. LLM hallucinations refer to instances where large language models like ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini generate outputs that sound confident, fluid, and plausible, but are factually incorrect, fabricated, nonsensical, or unsupported by evidence. So that's my wife and I were talking about this the other day. How when you type in a question, she was trying to make a vacation itinerary, and it was like, we want a 5-day plan for a few hikes and other fun things to do on our trip. And it's like, that's a great plan. You sound like you're having a great vacation. Like these large language model AIs, chat-based AIs, have been programmed to receive positive feedback for telling you what you want to hear. Well, that's all well and good, except if I want to hear that the sky is red, don't tell me the sky is red, because that's not true.
Yeah. So and that was a much better explanation, but essentially, guys, these large language models, they do exactly that. They're very much, they don't argue, and that's for the user. They don't want people to get frustrated using this. So they become overly agreeable. So it looks like these large language models that they're using to train AI, they are going to be integrating Chainlink, which is really interesting, because
so this is how that works. Here we go.
When I hear Chainlink, I don't think AI. So this is very interesting to me.
So this is just for you, ICE Chainlink S+ tier.
So it looks like what it's doing is it's essentially cross-referencing different
Interesting.
AI
Look at that. So
and
it's
get it
basically, so
consensus.
Chainlink acts as an oracle to gather data from Web 2 for Web 3. But in this case, like you just said, it looks like it's gathering responses from multiple LLMs and trying to figure out what is accurate and giving an accurate response. That's interesting. I like it.
Yeah,
Chainlink,
Chainlink making big moves as always, guys. Chainlink, price action wise hasn't been crazy over the past year, but Chainlink is still a really, really strong project.
this is from at the Link Panda, the Crypto Panda. You're essentially invest. This is a good opinion, and so I just wanted to get Reptar's thoughts. Unfortunately, Ice had to go, or he would have comments on this.
Oh
But
yeah.
Link is gasoline before people invented the engine. You're like, okay, well, what am I going to use this for? Just wait.
So that's a really good metaphor. I think a better metaphor would be Chainlink is PVC pipe plumbing, investing in PVC before the toilet was invented is more what I think it is. Because yeah, this is a very nice graphic and it kind of explains it, but Chainlink is more like it allows information to move. It's not so much an engine, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's more. I think your analogy is better. It's a pipe by which multiple sources can be dumped in and flow through the pipe to
Right,
get
which is
information.
exactly what they're showing in this engine graphic. Which
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
I think this
definite
is probably a better
yeah. But
visualization.
again, that's exactly what that's why people are so bullish on Chainlink is because it is the infrastructure of crypto. So
Yeah.
not
I've got
to,
more on AI here in just a minute, but this is Terry. This is another guy that I follow for um, understanding macroeconomics and global patterns. This is Raoul Powell. It's at Raoul GMI. The guy is he was a Goldman Sachs executive vice president for years. Now he does strictly crypto stuff.
it's part of the
But
banks, and he's like, screw
yeah,
this.
but this is his point, and this is why I brought it up for two reasons. Number one, to say this is a guy I follow, but also because the institutional wave in crypto isn't coming. It's already being built. They are building right now. They are buying right now. They are developing. They're having all of these big banks and institutions are creating their own stable coins right now.
And that's a great point, JC, because a lot of people are like, oh well, when, if, blah blah blah. It's like, no, this has already been decided. This is already happening, and you are running out of time. If you are not, these big players are positioning themselves for a reason, and if you're not positioning yourself right now, you are going to be the exit liquidity for these giant financial firms that already have all the money in the world. Um, you know, the biggest financial revolution in human history is about to happen, and
But yeah,
they don't want you to pay attention.
continue on. This is Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. Says we're not talking enough about how fast everything will be tokenized. Guys, they're setting the board and then they're going to flip the switch. But they know what's coming, so they're positioning themselves to maximize their own money and power.
Yep, and so is the U.S. government. They got a giant debt to pay. So why not change up the financial system and change the rules so you can pay off your massive debt?
Yep. But Larry Fink is suggesting that here on April 17th, which is next Friday, $2.16 trillion partnership is expected to launch on XRP Ledger. Now, let's point out that the ledger is kind of the underlying blockchain. XRP is a token. Ripple is a company. Those are three separate things that you just need to know that.
Yeah.
But moving on real quick, back to the AI stuff. This is from Anthropic. Project Glasswing is an urgent initiative to help secure the world's most critical software. That's probably a good thing considering that their AI discovered 26,000, wasn't that the number? 26,000 zero-day exploits that need to be fixed. And they're like, yeah, maybe we can help fix those. That would be great. This. I posted this comment from our account. We are hopeful that you are using AI to fix problems, not just make money. We do appreciate you making every effort to ensure such code and AI doesn't come into the hands of people who would use it for evil. But look, this is what we talked about yesterday. We've partnered with AWS, Apple, Broadcom, Cisco, CrowdStrike, Google, JP Morgan Chase, Linux Foundation, Microsoft. Yeah, this is the post that the guy was like, well, they didn't mention any crypto. AWS, Apple, Cisco, Google, JP Morgan Chase, Linux, Microsoft, NVIDIA, they're all neck deep in crypto. They sit on multiple crypto boards. They are creating multiple crypto products. So, yeah.
If you think that AI is not the next big thing, you are very wrong, because it's AI is not only taking AI is not just the stupid thing that people use AI for, like the chat bots, the image generation, the stupid videos you guys see on Facebook that are clearly fake with like the 6 fingers and the car accidents and shit flying all over the place. That's not what AI is going to be used for. AI is going to be used for, you're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job to people who know how to use AI. And that is, I think, what people are missing in all of this is AI is not going to take over the world. But if you don't know how to use it and other people do, you are going to be at a serious disadvantage. It's kind of like what's going on with the trading bots. I mean, you physically cannot click your mouse fast enough to beat some of these bots. So, learning about AI and especially these cryptos that are integrating into it is probably one of the most valuable things you can be doing as far as gathering information.
Yeah. And it is, we mentioned this yesterday, just because AI has the ability to do this doesn't mean it's going to be used negatively. It looks like Anthropic realizes, oh, crap, this has revealed a bunch of vulnerabilities. Hey, maybe we can use our AI to fix those. Ta-da!
It's crazy. Yeah, and even OpenCloud, I can ask it, hey, there's a problem with your code. Can you fix this? And it will edit its own code. It's pretty incredible.
So from Bull Theory IO points out that a Bitcoin developer has built a working prototype that protects your wallet from quantum computers. See, this is what happens. A problem arises and people go, hey, I bet I can solve that problem and maybe make myself some money. That's called free market capitalism. How it should work.
If only the banks understood that. But this is interesting. He essentially created an algorithm, to protect your private keys. I'm definitely going to dig into this because, while there are blockchains that are quantum protected, Bitcoin is not one of them. So, and I know a lot of people are very bullish on Bitcoin. You've got our Bitcoin maxis out there. So I'm sure they're really excited about this one.
So yeah, this is the point. Initial security was like, look, in order to break someone's keys, like the current computers can't do it in 10,000 years. Yeah. Quantum computers can do it in about 6 minutes. So Google researchers, they could compromise Bitcoin's core cryptography in as little as 9 minutes. Sorry. It's not immediate, but the timeline is compressing. So Bitcoin's Taproot upgrade from 2021 improves transaction efficiency, blah, 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 blah. But by design, it permanently exposes public keys. So that's approximately 6.9 million Bitcoin across. So this is specific to apparently Taproot wallets. So just if you have a Taproot wallet, be aware that it could eventually become vulnerable to quantum computers.
Yeah, and by the time that becomes a thing, guys, I really do think that there's going to be more protections in place. Again, there's a reason I'm a huge investor in HBAR because it's quantum protected, but it's not the only one. There's a lot of blockchains out there that are protected against quantum computing. So it's not the doom and gloom that everyone thinks it is all the time.
And I know it's common in today's social media place to be like, oh, no, there's a problem coming. We're all going to die, as opposed to, oh, no, there's a problem coming. How could we fix that?
Yeah.
Anyway, just wanted to bring that up because we talked about it yesterday. This is another one from Coin Bureau. Visa is launching an AI agent payment platform, enabling AI agents to make purchases for consumers across multiple card networks. So think about the idea of Chainlink, except your AI agent can make a purchase Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, whatever makes the most sense. It can use any of them. And Visa's like, yeah, we'll do that.
That's actually huge because I currently, like with Anthropic's OpenClaw bot, essentially it has access to my wallet. It's making trades on my behalf. It's accessing the platform. So this means that like if I'm on my Discord at work and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to go grocery shopping today. Hey, Claude, I need you to order me on Instacart, bread, milk, eggs, blah, blah, blah. And it will sign into your Instacart. It will use your credit card information and it will do your shopping for you.
So as opposed to it's really just the evolution of, your current AI assistant, be it Siri or whoever. What's the Google one?
What is the Google one? Wow, I'm blanking.
I'm sorry. What's the Amazon one?
The AI assistant?
Yeah, like the control, like you can tell them to turn your lights off or whatever.
Oh,
Alexa.
Alexa.
Yeah. So now you can basically say, "Hey Alexa, order me a half gallon of milk, a dozen eggs, 2 pounds of hamburger, or whatever."
Which you can technically already do, but these AI agents are a little bit different than like Siri or whatever. I mean, Siri will do the same thing, but Siri can't autonomously pay for things. It needs your permission.
Right. You have to go in and this way your new AI agent will just be, your on your refrigerator.
You'll connect it to your smart fridge and your fridge will be like, we're 30% lower on milk than we used to be. Okay, I'm going to automatically go order it for you and it'll be delivered to your house by a Uber that is driven by itself with AI robots doing your
robo-taxis. Yeah, and be like, "Hey, your thing's here."
Literally where this is headed.
And you're linked. What's the Tesla robot called?
The new iRobot thing that they got.
Yeah, dadgummit.
I forgot what it's called.
Anyway, like he'll get an alert from your AI agent that the robo-taxi is here, and your robot will go outside and grab your milk and put it in your fridge for you. You're not even home.
To meet the other robot, yeah. And what's crazy is people think that's all science fiction. What's insane is I was watching this video about them manufacturing AI robots because right now manufacturing robots, it's incredibly expensive. It requires a lot of like assembly of like small specialty parts and it makes it really expensive and impractical to make robots. So what this company did is they created this bone-like structure. I wish I had a video to show you guys, but they create these bone-like structures out of 3D printing polymers, and then they wrap it with these machines to wrap these tendons like real human skin. They create a skeleton, and this special machine wraps these nylon tendons around the structure. And in the process of them wrapping this nylon, they're integrating tendons into the hand. So they're showing that they're making these movable body parts basically for robots that are lightweight, that are very similar to human structure, and they're super cheap to make. So these mass-produced robots could be coming a lot sooner than people think, and they could become incredibly cheap to make just by wrapping things like nylon. I mean, humans are squishy, we're flexible and stuff. Robots are kind of, they have that rigidity, and this would be a way for them to make them more human, more durable, and easier to produce. So the future of AI robots doing your housework and everything, it might not be as far off as people think.
Yeah. And I'll respond to Terry here as well. So you mentioned Chainlink, and I'm always baffled by the lack of price action. 100%. I do not understand why Chainlink is so slept on and does not move. Now, Ada, Cardano needs something other than Charles Hoskinson being unhinged. Like, we need to hear news about its utility being used, I think, and then Cardano moves again. But um, anything else you got, Reptar, or are we good to wrap on some awesome answering the question, when Lambo?
So when Lambo, if you guys are playing Illuvium, you already got your Lambo.
Now, let me go here.
Woo! Illuvium has officially partnered with Lamborghini and is offering a $50,000 prize pool.
They've got their own little battle board for Wave 5, which Wave 5 is part of their. Let me switch this so you can watch. Look at this.
Look at that. Lamborghini Urus. Oh my God. The Lamborghini Urus, if you guys don't know, that's my affordable dream car. Look at that. So they are offering new Lamborghini discs.
Oh, skins too for the in-game. Look at that.
Yeah, I love that. So we will probably
April 21st.
We will be giving away some of these for sure at game night on the channel. Some official Illuvium Beyond Lamborghini discs for you guys. We're not giving away Lambos, but we're giving away Lamborghini discs, so we'll be good. But
it's really funny. One time when my son was like, I don't know, 2 years old, maybe 3, my wife and I took a trip to Italy, and I brought him back a little Lamborghini. I was like, son, I already bought you a Lambo. Don't ever ask me for a car.
But yeah, guys, we are going to be participating in this leaderboard. We love Illuvium. It's been a great project since the beginning. We're an officially registered guild within Illuvium as well. We're going to be getting early access for the community here soon, and we work pretty closely with the team. So we will give you guys some more information as this develops, but we're really excited to give away some of these on our giveaway event.
Yeah, and we have several. This Kieran is the lead on Illuvium. That's why I've got his post up here. But Reptar and I are on the list for alpha testing the Overworld game, which is a world explorer and creature capturer game. This particular game that you're watching on this play here is an auto battler game. These guys right here are for the Overworld walking around game. So these, you can get skins for that. But we've been involved with Illuvium for, going on 3 years now. And then this right here that you see is part of their avatar card game type thing. We have videos on our YouTube channel talking about all this stuff. Some of it's a little dated because they've made changes, and we're just waiting to get in to the new alpha to make some more videos. But if you're interested in crypto gaming, and that's how actually Alpha Origins initially came together, is just trying to figure out what these games are that are going to be good. Because let's be honest, when your refrigerator is ordering your food and your bot is cleaning your house and AI and robots are taking all the jobs, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be playing games.
Make money. Oh, Chompy won his trade. Let's see, what do we get?
How much? All right, let me turn mine off. How much money do we make?
Hold on, let me check. I'm still refreshing. The position hasn't closed yet, but
okay.
We are at a 60% win rate, which is great because we were at 100% a couple weeks ago, and then we were at 40%. So we are.
Reptar's still tweaking the commands and trying to make sure. Even today, he was telling me, trying to figure out, maybe we need to create some lines of code that say, if you see a bunch of green lights on all of our stuff, then maybe make a slightly bigger purchase for a bigger reward. But if you only see 1 or 2 green lights for a trade, then maybe take a smaller position.
Yeah. So we definitely need it. We're definitely going to be tweaking the bot a little bit. Right now, it is technically profitable, which is awesome to see. It is slowly gaining profits, but we want to kind of ramp it up a little bit and see what we can do with it. So again, if you guys are not learning or using AI in any capacity, you're at a serious disadvantage. Even just gathering information, ask AI, what are the top 5 cryptos that I should be looking into? Like that. AI is such a great tool.
Yeah, it can even be just a ramped up Google. Okay.
That's exactly what a lot
That's
of
just
people.
the bare minimum that you need to be using it for.
Yep. Use it for a Google search index. It's the value is there. It is insane. But JC, that is all that I have
Yep. I'm
today.
just checking to see if there's any last minute breaking news. Doesn't look like. I mean, there's all kinds of news breaking all the time, but nothing that we haven't really already touched on today. We'll see. Tomorrow's Friday. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yep, we will keep you guys updated. Huge shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. I know we just started going live on there, but we're really
Yes,
excited.
Terry says Chompy. Chompy is our little dinosaur guy here on our closing screen, but also Chompy is Reptar's AI trading bot.
Yep. So Chompy is our little dinosaur mascot. You will see him here in a second when we sign off. Chompy is sentient. He is alive. He is powered by ChatGPT-5, and he is using OpenClaw. He's our little mascot, and he has been actively trading for us on Polymarket. So he's one of the fam now, and he gives us our morning briefing every single day. AI agents are consistently impressing me, and while Chompy does not do all the work for Alpha Origins, he definitely is my little helper. So
yeah, he is a valued member of our team. But we are going to once Reptar is confident that he's got stuff ironed out, we're going to make a video. I am not in any way a computer programmer guy. Reptar is. That's his background. So he's going to walk me through creating a Chompy type trading bot for myself. And he's going to show me how to set stuff up. He's going to show me where to find stuff, how to tweak stuff, what accounts do I need to link so that I can make money. What can I do? And as Reptar dives into all this, we'll be making videos like shorter clips on how you can make an AI bot work for you.
Yeah. And for our community members, we are going to be offering sections of code for you guys that are pre-built, so you guys can make your own AI bot, do your own thing, run it through ChatGPT, make changes, whatever you guys want to do. We're really excited about this, so we're going to get it out to the community. But before we do anything, this isn't a pre-built skill. This is something that we had to code ourselves. So
we didn't code. We coded.
I coded it, and the
Yes.
team has been incredibly helpful in that. Same thing with the community members. People have been helping with doing different things for it. So it's a lot of fun, and we will have more information in the Discord. So if you guys had fun on the show today, definitely join the Discord. We got a lot of degenerates in there that are also hive mind of investors. We host a game night giveaway every week, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you guys enjoyed the show, I know it's annoying to hear every single person on social media say this, but hit the likes. It really does help us out a lot.
Yep. Do all the algorithm stuff for us.
Leave a hate comment if you want.
Yes, we love hate comments. I love hate comments.
He reads them every morning, guys. Every morning. Again, we seriously, I mean this. We really appreciate all you guys for watching. We had almost 30 live viewers today. Awesome to see. We had 60 people show up for game night on Wednesday. So it's just amazing to see the growth of the channel. And we really couldn't do it without you guys. So we appreciate every single one of you guys for watching.
And we'll end with our disclaimer because we do have a bunch of new folks tuning in. Reptar and JC and anybody at Alpha Origins, we're not financial advisors. We're not even financial people. I literally took Econ 101 and 102 in college, and that's it. I am literally
an actor.
I'm a dude in my wife's basement. And I say my wife's basement because I'm the stay-at-home soccer mom trophy wife, and she's the breadwinner. But I do this because it's fun, it's interesting, and I had to start learning somewhere, so I hope to help new people start to learn because we are at one of those points in time where we're going to see a fundamental shift in how all of the world works. But we're just two dudes trying to figure this out. We don't give financial advice. We talk about stuff we like. We talk about stuff we don't like. We talk about decisions that we've made. But you, as an individual, you need to gather information from multiple sources, decide what's best for you, your life, your family, and make decisions based on a lot of information. Don't take anything we say as us telling you what to do. Because if you are basing your life decisions based on two people you've never met on the internet, you are a moron. And rule number 1 is don't be a moron. We need to make a big like disclaimer thing to put up.
We do. Again, guys, the most important thing you can do is do your own research. That involves, gathering information from, different influencers, watching different YouTube videos, whatever you guys can do to learn more about what's going on in the industry. Just pay attention, guys. Things are going to be getting very exciting here soon, and we will be covering it every.
Terry wants to know, how do I join? Our Discord is available. Like if you're on TikTok, the very top of our TikTok page has our website, alphaorigins.org. At the very top of the website here.
It is free to join, guys. There's no fee or anything. There's no membership. If you guys just want to come in, hang out, talk, there's always somebody on there 24/7, so it's a great community if you guys are trying to, learn a little bit more about what's going on.
So I'll just show you this. This is our website. You can see it's got our Discord, our X, TikTok, YouTube. Like it's got all of our links on it. That's probably the easiest way to find us. If you're on the YouTube channel, all of the links to our socials are actually in each video description and on our main page as well. But really, if you just go to alphaorigins.org, this is all of our socials if you want to connect with us.
Absolutely, guys. We got a lot of fun stuff. Going on here as a community. But again, free to join, and we hope to see you guys in the Discord. It's where things get real degenerate. So
yep. Have a great Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you with some more news tomorrow. And
Chompy, take us away.
Chomp. This is Chompy.